I'm Jack,
And I'm Brenden,
and we're coming to you from beyond the terrarium.
where DIY meets naturalistic reptile keeping.
Enjoy!
All right. So, this may look a little different to everybody if you're watching this on YouTube, but I'm hosting tonight. Jack's he's on vacation right now, enjoying himself, getting a little relaxation in. So, it's just me hosting. So, this is episode number 16, I believe, of Beyond the Terrarium. I've been off for a little bit. I had a little hiatus. Had a kid and all that fun stuff. So my life is nothing but stress, but we're making it. We're doing it.
We're
We're
pushing through.
back. Yeah, we're back this week with our returning guest. This is like the third time you've been on, Jack?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
so-
At this point, it's 3. Last time I was filling in for Jack. So,
Oh, you were filling in for me.
oh yeah, that's right. I was filling in for you.
Now
I'm
you're
filling
filling in
Jack.
for Jack.
Dude, we're both a little under right now. I'm
So
done with
for
this
the people
move.
people who don't know, this is Jack Thomson of Gekkota Culture, the homie at this
I
point.
just don't leave.
Yeah, man, it's cool. We enjoy having you on. It's a good time every time.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, Jack's filling in for Jack. So at least we got the name right, and my camera's already messing up. Love that. This is gonna be a great episode already.
It's a pretty good looking still frame there.
Dude. It's they happen. Technical. Okay, for the people who know, because this has happened before, my camera's trash. I did order a new one. Here I
Oh,
am.
he was red for a second. Now
Dude,
he's
I'll
a
be
little purple.
I'll be green, I'll be red. It is what it is. If you're watching, sorry.
Oh, it's
but
looking good now. I came back.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you're looking good now.
Yeah, man. So I want to jump right into it. Well, actually, let me give a little update on everything real quick before I go.
Yeah, let's do some housekeeping.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think where I left off last time I was on, man. It's been a couple weeks for me.
Start where we always start with the cat gecko eggs.
So Jack normally asks me about the cat gecko eggs. I have good news and I have bad news. The bad news is the first clutch, I don't think it's going to hatch. One of them completely molded out on me a couple weeks ago.
Ah, damn.
The other one looks good, dude, but it's like it's been April, May, June. It's been over 4 months.
Okay, but it's
So
still they roll them
looks-
in dirt, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can't really candle those things, huh?
No, man, it's tough, but it's plump. It looks
Yeah,
good.
it's looking good. Yeah, just ride it out.
But I'm just gonna let it. Oh my gosh, dude, this camera! Look at this.
You got
thing.
cut in half.
Oh my god, what's going on?
My tried and true camera method has always been use my iPhone and do like the connect thing to the MacBook. It's flawless as long as your stuff's updated. I'm sure you could use. I'm sure there's some way you could get your phone to work as a webcam for your computer though for Windows. I'm sure they have that.
Yeah, whatever. Listen to the audio version; it'll be better, I promise. But anyway, so yeah, one egg it still looks fine, so I'm just letting it kind of rock and do its thing.
Gotcha.
But that female did lay another clutch.
There we go.
I guess it was last week, early this week, maybe. I found it in the cage because she's been looking thick. So I just kind of been giving her time to do her thing.
Yeah.
And then with like having the baby and like all the crazy stuff, I've just been like keeping the animals alive currently. Like I'm not like doing nothing crazy down there right now, minus like the null build I just did, which we'll talk about. But I just had a feeling. I was like, let me check because I didn't see her for a few days. And normally she comes out at night and I can kind of see her and stuff. I didn't see her for a few days. So I was like, let me go in and like do a little dig in and see if I can find something. And then as soon as I lifted the hide up, they were just like 2 perfect little pearly white eggs sitting right there. So
bam.
I got those.
Were they pearly white or were they covered in dirt?
Well, they're dirt, but in my mind, I'm just trying to tell myself they're pearly white.
I've gotten called out on my story before for saying that about your platypus egg, so I felt the need to clarify.
It is what it is. But I have
I'm sure they're pearly white underneath.
I sure hope so. So I'm gonna share my screen here for a second because I'm trying a new method. If it'll share,
Big if.
it's not gonna let me share. Okay, well,
Yeah, you can explain it here. Yeah.
So I'm doing like the Europlatus method, which you
Yeah,
know
you're gonna
very
try
well.
it.
I feel like, yeah.
Okay.
So I just did like a deli
Okay.
with like super wet vermiculite,
Mm-hmm.
and then a cup inside of that with like dry vermiculite with the eggs on it.
Okay. Is vermiculite or perlite?
I only have vermiculite and like
Okay.
on hand, so I'm
Okay.
trying that. I'm not a
Okay.
big fan of vermiculite personally, but I do use it often still.
Okay. I was gonna say I use perlite. I was talking to Justin Munsterman a couple months ago, and he really likes not just he likes it because around that egg there's
Mhm.
actually gonna be a lot of airflow because those particulates are pretty large.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like close to keeping it on egg crate, or kind of like it's gonna be the closest to like the sim method that you can get.
Mm-hmm.
It also drains really well. It's not a sponge, kind of like vermiculite is. So
Gotcha.
even if you like have like a closed chamber, as long as you have like a solid 2 inches of perlite, the water is
Mhm.
going to drain to the bottom. It's not going to be in contact with the egg.
Gotcha.
So like, I mean, I know I do the little 1 ounce condiment cup with the dry perlite, but honestly, I'm also thinking that I could probably set up a chamber with
Mhm.
like 2 to 3 inches of perlite, spray the snot out of it and just rock
Yeah.
them right in there, and they'll be okay. Just because that stuff drains so well, and that top layer is going to be like dry to the touch, but that it's still going to be humid in there.
I may order some perlite and just transfer them over.
I would
and
try it. It
try
can.
that
It
out.
doesn't hurt.
Because they mold out on me like crazy, and it's
Yeah.
insane. I even tried like the clutch before this last one. I tried just like wrapping them in sphagnum moss because sphagnum moss is supposed to be like very,
It's anti-mold. Yeah.
and they
It's
still molded.
acidic. Yeah.
So they still molded the shit. So I don't know what the hell is going on with them. But I'm getting eggs now at least.
Yeah. So
Which is
you got some chances. I
it's a step in
would
the right
strongly
direction.
suggest trying perlite.
Okay.
I know I've also heard that like vermiculite can suffocate part of the egg.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's creating almost like an anaerobic surface.
Gotcha.
And it's consistently moist. So I know I know we use it for a lot of turtle eggs, but we usually mix it with perlite still. But
Okay.
no, yeah, I'm a big fan of the perlite, and I've used it for crusteds too. And I think are crusted eggs the closest thing to cat gecko eggs? Are they're because they're leathery, aren't they? Or are they more hard shelled?
No, they're more leathery, I would
Okay.
say. They're more on the leathery side than hard shelled for sure.
Okay. Cool.
So, but yeah, so it's like, I don't know, man. It's just, I'm just hoping something happens.
You'll get it. Just keep throwing shit at the wall, something will stick.
And dude, the 4 months in between laying eggs is fucking brutal. Like I was told 2 months.
That's crazy.
It took her 4 months to lay this other clutch.
Yeah.
So
that's
I don't know
wild.
If it's like, because they're all wild caught. So I don't know if it's just like that's what cycle they're on and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Or what? But
yeah, that's one thing. I mean, I get weird lays out of one of my wild caught leaftail, one of my wild caught mossies. Mm-hmm. She only ever lays one egg at a time, and it's like every 3 weeks. It's really strange. And sometimes she'll miss it. She'll skip a month, but I know that happened the last time, and I just randomly got another one. And I was really stoked because it's probably my prettiest mossie. So
yeah.
No, I'm always kind of checking that and keeping notes. And it's like, yeah, there's like this weird gap where there's just like no action for like 60 days and then bam, one egg. But
so strange.
The first clutch she laid one egg, and then like I saw it, but then I was busy that weekend, so I didn't collect it or put it in the incubator because I keep all my eggs at work just because my office temp is like really consistent.
Yeah.
It's like 73, 74 all the time. So it's like right in that sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I just left it and then came back like 3 days later, and it was accompanied by another one. But there was like a solid day or two there where she didn't lay another one. But that second egg turned out to be a dud. There wasn't anything in it. So, yeah, she's weird. She only has like, I don't know what the biology would be, but like, I don't know if she only has one working I don't know.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah,
It's weird.
it's weird. With wild caughts, you never know.
Yeah, and I wish I had more like more laying females to kind of base it off of. But she's the only one that's laying right now. Oh, there it is. I'm green now. I do have one that's like chunky,
Yeah.
chunky. But she hasn't laid yet either. So we'll
Captive
see.
bred or wild caught?
Wild caught.
2 wilds. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna stay green for this episode. It's cool. It matches the background.
On brand.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I wish I had more females to base this off of, but I don't, unfortunately. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm just letting them do their thing, man. I'm kind of over stressing about it. I'm over helicopter momming them.
yeah.
I'm just letting them do their thing.
Just let them do it. They know best.
It is.
Supposedly.
That's what they say, man. I don't know, but other than that, that's really all I've had going on besides the anole cage.
Yeah. Do you want to hop into that, or?
I think I can share my screen now. I want to show these eggs real quick. I want to see what you think.
Okay.
There we go. Look at that. Okay. Oh, that's Instagram. We don't want that.
Look at that.
So here they are. They look good.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, those look like good eggs to me, like the way that they're conformed.
Right.
And that female, I don't know if it's consistent, but a lot of the times the females won't go through the trouble of like rubbing, rolling them in the dirt if they aren't good. They're just shooting duds, and they'll usually just leave them.
Yeah.
At least the Europe platypus will just kind of shoot them off onto branches and stuff. But when they are fertiles, they'll go down to the substrate and they'll lay them down there, and they'll go through the process of rolling them. My only concern would be, do you think the vermiculite would almost pull water from the egg?
See, man, that's kind of what I was worried about. I was thinking about that today, actually. I was like, man, like I was at work today, and I was like,
just thinking, like,
randomly, I was just like, what if it pulls moisture from the eggs that's in dry vermiculite?
Yeah, that's interesting. Because that's why I like perlite, because it doesn't have that ability. Like it's pretty much just like a dry. It doesn't have that good of a seal on the egg, I guess, or it doesn't have that contact patch to do that.
I'm actually, yeah, man, I'm second guessing it now because, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I just need to buy some perlite and just fucking
rip over to Home Depot and buy a little thing of perlite real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Actually, I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go grab some just in case, because
obviously
I want the eggs to have as good of a chance as possible to hatch, because
absolutely,
my track record for these guys ain't very good. But
you'll get there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, man. We'll figure it out. So I do want to talk about the anole build.
Yeah,
but I want to spend more time on what you have had going on.
Christ, it's been a lot.
Exactly. And I want to have time to dive into all that. And then worst case, we'll do the anole cage next week.
Okay.
Gosh, but I want to start off.
Oh, man.
You just moved.
Yeah, I just moved. It was hectic. It was long. Actually, it wasn't that long. I only spent like 3 days moving, but it was like all of 3 days. It was all of 3 days. So it was quite a trek. So I moved out of my college house. God bless. Never again. Oh my gosh, I posted a video the other day of taking the racks out of my room and the cage that I remember. And you can just see the cobwebs and the dirt and like it's just awful. The carpet's a horrid color. Like it was, we're gonna have to steam clean that thing, and I'm gonna have to spend some time over there cleaning it before the lease turns over in a couple days here. So, but we moved all the reptiles. Everybody's safe and sound in the new place. The arrangement I worked out is I would actually get to use the garage to keep a lot of my reptiles in. My roommates were gracious enough to let me do that. So then I got to sleuthing, and here we are. We're in the new gecko room, the gecko tent, I should say. So yeah, I'm not keeping anything. All the animals used to be in my bedroom, and in there, it was pretty much just like an array of fans and AC units, just trying to combat weather, just because there was no insulation in that house. So
yeah,
it was an experience for sure. But thankfully in the new place, the garage is actually pretty well insulated. Like it was maybe 85 today, and in the garage it only got up to 80, which is nice. But to further kind of lock my animals in, I went out and got all right, I came up with the idea to make a greenhouse, to put all the animals in, but just through kind of research and stuff, I kind of went to the grow tents, or I looked into the grow tents and putting whole racks into the grow tents, but they weren't tall enough. I try and maximize as much space as I can, so that the height for me is really important. Just being able to get tanks high up, or stack them really high. So they weren't tall enough to do that. They only got up to like, I don't know, 6-7 feet tops, and I'm trying to get to like 8.5 with some clearance for lights and equipment and stuff. So decided that wouldn't work. I thought about making a greenhouse out of 2x2s and like plastic sheeting, but I was more worried about keeping cold air in than I was keeping moisture in. So I kind of felt like that wasn't as effective of a solution as I would have liked. So now we landed on the tent. So I found this. I don't even know how I came up with the idea, but I think I was just scrolling through Amazon, and I came across like this sports tent, this 10x10x10 sports tent, with a white cover. It's like one of those easy up tents, but this one's got like walls. Like it comes with wall covers.
Oh, really?
And they like zip together, and it's completely sealed. And it was like $150 on Amazon.
Can't beat that.
Gotta
love Amazon, man.
Yeah, dude. And like the fabric, it's obviously not airtight, like completely airtight, but it keeps a little bit of that air in. That's all I need. So I got that, and then I went out and bought 4x8 styrofoam insulation panels to line the insides. I think they were 1.5 inches. I got 1.5 inch thick panels. So I put 2 on each wall, so there's like a 2-foot gap on each wall, but that's fine. It does they do the trick. And my little portable AC has been able to keep it consistent 74 in here, which has been really nice. Which lets the kind of like the UVB bulbs kind of create a little bit of a warm air at the top, but the ambient is still kind of in that mid to low 70s range, which is pretty ideal for everything I keep. So so far it's been pretty cool. It's been working. It's only been up for like 2 or 3 days, so obviously it's still in the early stages here, but yeah, there were definitely a few I had to figure some stuff out on the fly while I was putting this thing together. Like when I got the styrofoam boards, they were like too thick, and they were thick enough to be annoying, and I had to kind of cut the bottom off to get them to slot in right to the inside the frame. The AC, oh man, routing the AC was a pain, because I had to do the exhaust, and I had to route like the exhaust pipe to a window. Thankfully, I positioned it right next to a window, so, or like in the general vicinity of a small window, so it's shooting hot air out there right now, so that's working right. And for some reason, the garage is like carpeted, so I went out and got like painter's plastic, and I kind of folded it onto itself to create like a water barrier under each rack, because the Repti bruises, they're not like super watertight. So when I'm spraying, sometimes we'll get some drippage out of them. So that's just to kind of thwart the drippage from getting under that carpet and messing it up, because I really don't want to mess up the new place. I can't treat it as shitty as I did the other place. So I gotta be a little more respectful, obviously. And, So I got to I took the extra. I did the I went the extra yard to kind of protect the floor. I haven't installed. I just have the AC and like a circulation fan right now, but I've got it on like wind mode and like the oscillating mode, so it's kind of spinning around, and it's like changing the airflow, or it's changing the speed.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is it's a cool effect. I have it pointed at the Abronia, so they've been getting a little bit of a breeze, which has been pretty cool to see. Trying to think what else. So far I've gotten the room is only like, I don't know, 2/3 of the way filled, and I got all my animals in it. So I'm like, gosh, shit, dude, I got room to play with now.
You got so much room for activities.
I gotta save room for babies though when they start hatching, because the incubator's been pretty stocked and nothing's hatched just yet. So
that's a smart move, man, because I did not think of that when I built my rooms, and I am out of space. So
yeah.
Smart move on that.
I feel like for the babies, they're all going into those like 32-ounce fruit fly culture cups.
Yeah.
Until I can get some size and get some food in them, and then I can put them into like more communal tanks. Because I've communally raised. I've talked to people that have communally raised Sikore before and Nebanawi before. You don't want to do it when they're like super baby. Like you want to let them get established first, but once they kind of hit that like, that 2-3 month mark, 4-month mark, then usually they're pretty okay to go together. You just gotta give them their space and make sure you gotta be able to check everybody consistently, make sure everybody's getting fed.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting a little skinny, you gotta be on that and take them out. But
how big of groups do they keep them in?
Oh man, I mean, I know a guy that's keeping like maybe like 5 juvenile Sikore and like an 18-24, so like an adult sized enclosure, but he's just got a bunch of juveniles in there pretty much. So I'll probably do something similar and see how that goes. See if it works for me. But if not, then I gotta have space, to keep all those babies, happy and healthy. So in the case that doesn't work, I'll probably just run with 10 by 10 by 12s. Just throw a rack of those together, put that on a wall. But yeah,
you could always go with those badass condos that Emeritus Designs does.
Yeah, I could, except I ain't that. I'm a little strapped for cash right now. So
hey man, I feel that. I'm right there.
I gotta be smart. I gotta make already smart plays here. If it works, it works. So I gotta do what works right now. One day. Though.
Okay, so I want to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially if people are listening that don't keep the amount of animals that we do, moving in general is stressful.
Yeah.
Moving with animals is even more stressful. And moving with temperature-sensitive animals is even more stressful.
Moving with a shit ton of temperature-sensitive animals is even worse.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, talk about, like, the preparation.
Okay.
And then like how you did it, like step by step, kind of, because I find it interesting.
Yeah,
and obviously it went very well.
Yeah, so far it went well.
You did something right.
The week before, I was slated to move. I was lucky enough to have a good relationship with the previous tenants of this place, so they let me kind of get a head start on moving. So I was come out to the property, kind of look around the garage, figure out what I wanted to do in there. So I think the first step is to just establish where you're going to move those animals into, get those temperatures right, make sure it works for you. That's like step number 1 is just like secure the spot that you're going to put the animals in. Check your weather, because, temperature, weather, especially this time of year, the summer months can definitely, cause some health concerns. If it's not treated carefully. So yeah, you just got to be cognizant of your weather, cognizant of the space you're moving your reptiles into and how, that might affect them. But once you kind of secure a space, then you can kind of start going about moving them. I, circled a Saturday to do it all, knocked it all out in one day. Woke up at 6-7 a.m. and just started deli cupping all the animals. I stocked up on, I have a 6-quart baby rack. And I kept all the lids to the Tupperware tubs I used in that rack. So thankfully I was able to use all 24 of those 6-quart bins as temporary holding spaces for a lot of the animals. So I basically put everybody into delis or into 6 quarts. And then that way, I could use like a 10-foot U-Haul truck.
Yeah.
Or 10-foot, box truck. And I was able to move all the cages into one of those. So basically, after I deli cupped everybody, I moved all those cages into the living room. And then I broke all the racks down, moved them over into the new room, set them up, kind of figured out where my electrical was going to go. And then I went back, got the cages, brought them in, put them in here. And then I brought the animals over in a air controlled car. And that seemed to go well. Honestly, like the last thing you should be worrying about is like UVB and all that. Obviously, if your animals have heat requirements, you got to be cognizant of that.
Yeah.
I generally don't feed too often on weekends. Like a lot of my animal care takes place during the week, and I'll usually take like the weekends off of like big feeding days.
Yeah.
I kind of do like an every other day during the weekdays. So thankfully it kind of worked out where I wouldn't have to worry about that. But yeah, super important. You make sure your animals are at the right temperatures and hydrated. I'd say those are the two biggest things you gotta worry about when moving, because you're exhausted, you're tired. You don't want to do any kind of reptile care. You got them in the cage. Got them in the cages. They're fine, but you still gotta spray them down. You don't want to let that slip, because you probably have a million other things you gotta worry about with moving too. You gotta move all your stuff, all your personal belongings. So you just gotta stay on top of that.
So did you move all the animals first and then move all your stuff over, or did you do?
Yeah, I did the animal. I prioritized the animals. I did the animals first, and I figured once the animals were secure, I could kind of breathe a little.
Yeah, absolutely.
The way like my bedroom was, like if I didn't move the animals first, there's no way I would have been able to move my personal stuff out either. So one had to come before the other. So
yeah.
So thankfully it worked out.
Yeah, man, it seems like it went pretty smooth and pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like, so how far is like the new place from your old place?
Oh, it was. I'm actually pretty blessed. It's only like a 5-minute drive, so I'm able to do back and forth
that makes
trips.
it a lot easier.
Yeah. I will say I've done a lot more trips moving my personal belongings than I have done moving the reptiles.
Mhm.
That's because I didn't use the U-Haul truck. I didn't use the U-Haul truck to move my my personal stuff, so I had to do like tiny car loads to and from. So that's why it's like I would definitely recommend kind of get the animals out of the enclosure, make sure they're in a temperature controlled environment. You can go out and you can go to your local fish store and get one of those big boxes they ship fish in, the styrofoam boxes, cooler boxes. You can get one of those, chuck all your animals in there. If your stuff's like temperature sensitive, if you're worried about it, just to leave them in there for the day. Because I did have to move my AC unit out of the room, kind of mid move. So I did have to kind of worry about temperature a little bit. Because without that AC, the house temp actually gets up pretty high. So that was one thing I had to be cognizant of. Yeah, no, I'd say get yourself a U-Haul trailer. They're cheap as shit. It's super easy. I did it from my phone day of. That saved me a lot of time and a lot of heartache, or a lot of work. Just being able to move all those cages at once,
For sure, yeah.
Just because they took up the entire truck. So imagining moving those in a small car would that'd
be a nightmare, dude.
That'd be a nightmare, especially the 3-foot tall tanks.
Dude, I was thinking of like I'd do all the exoterras.
Yeah.
I'm a man, because at least you don't have glass.
I was about to say, dude. If you have any premonitions of moving, cut down on your glass. Like immediately.
Oh no, I'm not moving for a long time.
Good. Oh my gosh, moving glass is the worst thing ever.
Oh yeah, dude, it's terrible. I did
drainage layer, dirt, wood, the works, and I couldn't imagine it, because like I could like solo lift like 16/16/30s and 18/18/36s, with ease, into the U-Haul trail, going back and forth. The only ones I need help with, because they're so long, are the 36/18/36s. That's the only tank I needed 2 people to do. So I was able to solo like, I don't know, 80% of my animals cages.
Yeah.
And not, be on the floor dying. So yeah, I have like one glass 1836 that the Brettles are in, and oh my god,
Dude.
that took it
Yeah.
out of me. That just moving that one tank took it out of me. So
I had to get help because I have a 1836, an old cage that is built, the one I did the center or whatever. And I had to like have my dad come help me get it in the basement because it's just so awkward. Like I can pick it up, but like
you need two people.
It's so, and now it's like, this much dirt and like the Peleca's cage. There's no way I'm moving that unless I empty the whole thing out. There's no fucking way that thing is.
And
moving.
most people want to go bioactive in their glass nowadays, so it's even worse.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
So I'm here for a long time, luckily.
Yeah.
At least like the next 6, 7, probably 10 years. So
yeah. Well,
I don't have to worry about that too much, but
good stuff.
I'm already dreading that move. It's nowhere near time to do it. So at least you're lucky with the Repti breezes.
Yeah, no, that was I remember, talking about that a while ago and being like, yeah, when I move, it's going to really, I don't think I realized how much it would, because just looking at, man, if I had to move just even 18, 24s with dirt and drainage layers and leaf, in wood. And,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. You almost at some point you need two people for some of those cages.
Absolutely.
And
even the 12, 18s, I had the cat goes in. Whenever I did those shelves, I had to move everybody out.
Yeah.
And even that, dude, I was like, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
And I only had like a dozen cages to move.
Yeah, these little 12, 18 Eurodactylodes cages are heavier than my like 16, 30 adult Sakura pairs. So it's like,
it's crazy, man.
What are we doing?
I wish we would have had you on before then. I would have just done the Repti Breeze fucking route, but
I mean, yeah, no, it's the mover special, the yearly lease special is running the Repti Breezes.
Hell yeah!
You just gotta be cognizant of what room you put them in.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's one thing, versus glass. Like if I did have glass cages, I probably wouldn't be sweating the the temperatures as much or the ambient as much, especially if I kept kind of warmer species. Then it's like, well, it doesn't really matter what room I keep them in. I'm doing, per cage temperature control anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So on one hand, like that would be nice not to have to worry about having to set up an entire temperature controlled tent to keep them all in. So
true. So where are you at in California again?
I'm in San Luis Obispo, so it's like a kind of like a coastal town. So it's like
your temps are pretty decent.
My temps are pretty decent. Like I know I'm talking a lot about like, oh, be careful of the heat, but like I have it really good. Yeah. I know most like 90% of the country was in like the 90s to 100s this past few days. Like there was massive, there was a massive national heat wave or whatever. I think us in San Francisco were the only two places in like the continental United States that was like under 80.
Under 80?
Maybe not under 80, under 85, I will say. I think
I
think we were low 80s, but like, I mean, that was only for like 4 hours in the day. The rest of the day was
dude. Our low last night was 86.
Oh, that's awful.
We were talking before we recorded. Today was like 105.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And I'm in Illinois, dude. Like,
well, on one hand, yes, but like. No, like, so the problem with that for us though is that none of the houses in the area have AC.
Right.
So we really don't have the ability unless we go out and like buy it and install it ourselves to cool our animals down. Like we kind of just are at the mercy of the insulation and the temperatures outside. So,
which is crazy to me, dude. Coming from the Midwest, like I couldn't think about not having central air in my house, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. Like I have central air and I still have to run. So this is totally off topic, but my house was built in like 1952 or whatever, right? It's a brick home. There's like no insulation in this house at all. So, and I have no trees near me. So as the sun hits like midday and as it's like going down, it beams to the front of my living room. And my house upstairs, this was a big reason why I think the cat geckos did so bad in my upstairs is because it would get like 86 with the AC like blasting.
Yeah.
and it's brutal, dude. I had to run like 2 window units plus my central air to even get it like mid 70s during the day.
Jeez. And
It's
I mean,
wild.
like, yeah, the electricity cost and that was
Yeah, I don't even want to
not
talk about
fun.
that, dude.
Yeah, thankfully, like, yeah, that was like the biggest thing because, if I didn't honestly, like the main reason I did this tent is really just to be able to shrink the space that my AC units have to work
Of course, yeah.
to kind of keep it where it needs to be. Like, I walked into the garage and I went, oh shit, it's warm in here. I better check the animals. I walked into the tent and I was like, oh, never mind.
It's nice in here.
It's nice in here. Yeah, exactly. So like really, and man, if I had to like, cool an entire 20 by 20 room, like garage with like one door that's not insulated that faces the sun.
Oh yeah.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, it would be brutal, man.
It would, I don't even, near
So
impossible task.
How big of an AC unit are you running in there?
Oh, I mean, it's like a, you can buy it at Home Depot or Amazon. It's like one of those off the shelf ones. It's like it's maybe like a 16 by 16 by, I don't know, 30-inch ish unit. Like, so
okay. It's like the roll around ones?
Yeah, it's like the roll around ones. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nice.
And it just turned off. So I guess we're at 73 in here.
There you go, dude.
There you go. Oh, but it's back on. Never mind.
Oh,
it's working.
You spoke too soon. Man.
Yeah.
Good though. I'm glad everything went smooth.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't have no hiccups, no issues, no animal troubles.
No animal troubles, really. I will say that so this is kind of funny. I keep some of my crested geckos in kind of like these deep box chest drawers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of bad. I moved them all into my car, right?
Yeah.
And I have more than what fit in my car. So I was like, all right, I'll move all the ones with animals in them first. So I thought I put all the drawers that had animals in them in the car, and I moved them over. I was like, all right, cool. And there were 2 left. Put them in my car, and then I was like, you know what? Like, this would actually make great storage to put some other supplies in. So and this is like the middle of the night. I pull open one of the drawers, and I start putting like extra pieces of wood, extra bowls and stuff in one. And I see like this white flash like shoot out of the top of the bin and like land on the ground and disappear. It's like a big pile of leaves. I was like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, wait. And I checked and I looked closer at the label. I'm like, oh fuck. Like, I know who's in that bin. And just skittered off into the night. Grab my flashlight. I'm chasing after this thing. I can see it's like crash geckos are damn fast, dude. Like,
yeah, they are.
They're swift fast, like small diurnal lizard fast when they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't ever feel like. Man, it was like middle of the night, so that thing was turned on. It took off. Kind of, when the pile of leaves, like pushing the leaves aside and stuff, kind of, going through it. Finally found him and put him back in his bin. But oh my god, there was like a 5-second interlude where I was like, did I see that? Like, did that thing was there actually an animal that jumped out of the bin, or was it just like a like a bull or something that fell? Like,
yeah.
What the hell is that? And I go over to the bin and I see like the leaves rustle. I'm like, oh fuck, I should probably check that out.
That is insane. Good thing it didn't fucking hit a tree, man. You'd have been
oh my gosh, dude.
Gone.
Yeah, no, it's in our driveway. And like there's like walls. There's like, I don't know, 2-foot high walls that kind of are like act as a barrier to us in like a tree line. So
nice.
If it got up and over that, I don't think I'd ever find it.
Dude, that's wild.
The thing was fast. Insane. I mean, it was once I started to chase after it, like it started skittering through the leaves, and like I was like running, and I was like, the thing was just like shooting through them. I was like, oh my god,
dude, some of those guys are that one. The one I just got for the girlfriend because she wanted one he's a psycho, dude. Like, he's fast. He did the same thing. Like, I got him out of the shipping box. I opened the deli cup.
Yeah.
And he was just sitting there. And I was like, okay, he's chill. He should be all right. I went to pick him up. And next thing I know, he's like up by the ceiling on the wall. I was like, holy shit, this dude is fast.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Yeah. And like, what always surprises me is like, I don't know, you expect lizards to take off, get like 3-4 feet and like stop. and like reconsider what they're gonna do, and then that's
They
when you
don't
go
stop.
and then that's when you go and pick them. They don't stop.
Nope.
Get them before they get behind or get under something,
man.
or get up a tree. Like, oh my god, it was a sobering moment for sure. I was tired, and after that, I was like wide awake. I was like, adrenaline's pumping. Like,
Man,
I almost lost one of my favorite crested geckos.
I had similar, but in my room, luckily, so I didn't.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't outside, but
yeah,
I had
the great outdoors.
yeah, dude, I had a baby leopard gecko hatch a couple days ago, and this was like, it was over the weekend, so I was like the end of my time off of work. I was like, I didn't get no sleep the night before. I was like dead tired, trying to put this leopard gecko in a tub, just so I can try to go to bed, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know about baby leopard geckos, but they're fucking psychotic.
Yeah,
for
they
the most
scream.
part. They scream, right? This one didn't scream, but he's fast. He's a very fast guy.
Yeah.
So I use those like fishing tackle clear plastic bins for like the eggs.
Okay.
So I opened it up. I have it sit on my floor, which is like mistake number one, right? And I have the 6-quart tub sitting right next to it. So I like dig my 2 fingers in, try to pick this little guy up. He's chill. He's like sitting on my fingers. And then as I go to move to put him in the tub, he just bolts, right?
Yeah.
No clue where he went. He's just fucking gone.
Skittered.
Dude. So I moved my incubator out.
Yeah.
And he's behind the incubator. I was like, cool, I can grab him. As I went to grab him, so the way my room's built, it's drywall, but there's like a small gap at the bottom, and then there's like a 1x3 like border around the bottom. It's a little bit of a gap. This gecko is just big enough. He slides up underneath that and is just like sitting there looking at me, right? So I can't reach him. My fingers are too fat. I can't get under there. So I was like, I got a snake hook. Let me grab the snake hook, and I'll just like kind of coax him out. As soon as I touch him with a snake hook, he fucking bolts off like behind the cinder block to those shelves I built.
No.
There's no moving that unless I take everything off the shelves, right? Dude, it was 45 minutes of me with a small snake hook, just kind of like fishing in between until I got this little bastard out.
God.
I was so pissed. I was so frustrated, man. Oh, they
got a
gave
lot
me a
of
run
sweat in
for my
that
money.
thing.
Dude. For just a baby leopard gecko.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I couldn't believe it, man. They're little psychopaths, man.
Yeah, damn right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've had some close calls with. Yeah, I mean, I stack my racks up high, so whenever something gets behind them, it's,
yeah,
it's stressful.
It's not fun.
And it's like I put a little circle on the cresty geckos because my girlfriend only likes to hold the cresty geckos, so I'll put circles on the cresty geckos. I kind of know are a little bit lax. None of the males. The males are freaking crazy, and it's like because she's. Bless her, but she's let a few out before, and they've gone behind like the row of bins and having to take down the abronia and take down the all the crested bins and all the crested cages just to get this one little,
Oh yeah.
So
I know how it goes.
That's how it goes.
My girl's done the same a couple times, but it's okay. We forgive them.
No, yeah, oh yeah, no, anything to kind of get them used to it, get them liking it. So.
So I guess actually that brings me to another question. You said, is there like a gap under, like on the bottom side of this tent, like to where if an animal gets out, can it get underneath it and out of the tent?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, actually, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's down. It's in contact with the ground, but I think I think they could still probably get under it.
Mm-hmm.
That's only on one side of the room. That being said, I did take that painter's plastic and I kind of wrapped it 2 or 3 inches up the sides.
Okay.
And I taped it to the insulation foam boards when I installed those on the walls. So, I mean, I'd say like it's actually fairly secure. But if they go out, there's a freaking door on this thing. So if they go towards the door or like the zipper door, they could probably get under that. Or if they actually, no, it's just the one side because one of the sides is backed up against a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Save some money on insulation board by just putting it on a house facing wall.
Yeah.
So I think if they went through the front door or like the front door panel, which is this side right here, they could probably get out. But other than that, I think it's pretty secure. I think I have some time to catch them.
Thank God.
One of my favorite tools for catching small geckos, though, when they get out, though, is a freaking fish net, like an aquarium net.
Oh, dude, I never even thought about that.
Get yourself a nice, or like an aquarium net, kind of bend it at like a 30-degree angle.
Yeah.
The ultimate day gecko catcher. Like I don't even sweat day geckos anymore when I have my
It's
fish
like,
net. Yep, just push. Get a nice
I
like
never
2 foot
even
long.
thought of that.
Get a
dude.
short one, get a long one.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of trap them in the net, then you can kind of gently grab them. Because with the day geckos, you gotta be careful of their skin. You don't want to just grab them barehanded. But with that fish net, it kind of traps them first, let them settle down, and then you kind of just go and just gently grab them. So
It's a smart move. I'm about to get me another fish net, man.
yeah.
I'll be ordering all kinds of stuff on this episode. I got perlite. I gotta get a fish net.
Well, did you hear me and Jack's conversation about the electric photo album? Oh,
I haven't had a chance to listen to that episode yet.
Oh, it's a great I think it was a great episode. We were talking. We just on air came up with the idea of buying one of those kind of electric or not electric, but like Bluetooth photo albums.
Yeah.
The digital photo album or not photo album. Tweaking the the picture frame.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The picture frame with the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Get one of those, and then you can like create your own like museum cards to cycle through, and then you put that on one of your racks to kind of cycle through like the species on that rack.
That's actually pretty cool.
On the entrance to the room, you can kind of put that on there, and just you got to have some wizardry with Photoshop and stuff and Illustrator to get that card looking right. But I mean, once you have it, you can make it for all the animals in your room.
Yeah,
that's have a little description and a little like blurb about where they're from. Have like a map with like a dot or something, and like
that's pretty neat actually. That's a good ass idea. I couldn't do it because I'm not technical savvy like that. But
all I need is one guy, and he can just show you the files. He can do one for cat geckos and stuff. And
I got a guy. His name's Jack.
Oh, which one? You gotta specify these
one
days.
of you guys could do it.
What are you? You have to specify these days.
One of you Jacks could do it. Damn it.
So yeah, that might be the next thing I look into adding to the room. I also want to add a. Actually, I bought it and I have it. All right, just give me 1 second. I'll show you.
Yeah.
This is where I would get on the video segment just to see the size of this freaking exhaust.
Holy shit. Dude, that's a legit exhaust.
Yeah. Oh gosh. This is an 8-inch blower inline exhaust fan. It does like almost 800 cubic feet per minute.
Hell yeah.
Something crazy like that. So I'm gonna install that into the top of the tent. So when heat rises, I can push it out. And honestly,
that's a good idea.
I might buy one for the garage itself and just like have it kick on when it gets too hot in the exterior room. So
yeah, I mean that would definitely help.
Yeah,
for sure. Just if you can keep the garage 80 at all times.
Oh, then
you're only dropping it like 6 degrees, which isn't bad.
Yeah, and I'm only fighting basically. I feel like I'm just fighting the at that point I would just be fighting the heat from the lights.
Yeah.
That'd be my only battle versus like the heat of the garage, which I'm currently battling right now. But
yeah. But at least I mean we're already kind of midsummer, so
yeah.
I'm curious.
Our summers are late though. Like there is like a week in September where it'll get like 100 degrees consistently.
Really?
It's like a random like freak week, but it happens every single year.
That's crazy. What do your winters look like? Probably the same, like perfect 60s, 70s.
Yeah. The day temp's usually in the day temp 50 to 60, night temp it'll get down to the 40s, down into sometimes the 30s, like on those really cold nights, but quote unquote cold,
right? Yeah,
comparatively cold.
Yeah, for sure.
So in that case, honestly, like a little 500 watt, 1,000 watt space heater will probably do the trick in here.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what your plans were for that.
Yeah, I'll probably just thermostat a space heater in here and just run that.
Yeah. Do you think? Because I know at least here, running heat like that just absolutely is brutal on the humidity.
Yeah.
So
Well,
would you run like a humidifier too, or?
Oh, I'm thinking about also. I actually have one. I have a evaporative cooler.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
thinking about setting up an evaporative cooler in here and just having that, spew water into the air.
Yeah.
Because it's not a vapor it's not like vapor, or it doesn't come out as vapor. So like, I feel like it won't like damage the carpet. Because I feel like if I run like
I
a
forget you
standard
had carpet in
humidifier,
there.
if I
Yeah.
run a standard humidifier, like that fog is gonna fall onto the carpet and get that
Yep.
all soggy. So like, I'm a little worried about that. I'm thinking the evaporative cooler will just up the humidity in here. If 10, 20, 30% would be pretty sweet actually.
Yeah.
I'll actually go and do that next, but I'll
Yeah,
probably
I forgot about why would they carpet the garage?
I have no
That's
idea.
crazy to me. Unless
Yeah.
they use it as like a room.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, it's maybe. I think they were using it as like a gym, and the previous tenants were using it as a gym. So
that makes sense. It's
strange
crazy,
decision.
yeah, it is what it is, though.
Yeah.
So
I
random
tried pulling it
question.
up. I tried pulling it up, but it was glued
Of course
down.
you did.
It was finished.
It's probably liquid nailed down. That shit probably ain't going nowhere. Who is in the bottom right behind you? The cage. Who's in there?
This one?
Yeah, what's in there?
That's it's a Colodis Pethiogota.
I knew it, dude. He's going crazy.
Is he?
Yeah, man. I've seen him jump and run around like 2 or 3 times now. And I could have swore I said it was. Okay. Before we get to the no cage, dude.
Okay.
I am a Colodis fanboy and I want them so bad.
And you don't have any. Why?
How
awesome.
cool are they?
They're so cool. They're fucking cool, dude. I need to get them into a much bigger enclosure though. That is on my to-do list, is to get him a boy, or get her a boy, and get him into a much larger enclosure together.
Yeah.
I feel like they're so active. Like, the thing is always doing laps. They'll
I'm when
you walk
them.
by, they watch you, they look at you, see if you got food. Like, they're pretty cool. They're pretty awesome. They're very bold as a thing.
Yeah,
they're
that's what I
extremely
hear.
bold.
Yeah, and they're not around much, man. Like, I forget the name. There's someone on Morph Market that's been selling a bunch of captive babies.
It's so Justin Munsterman of Legacy Herps works with is one of the only people that works with Colodis Pethiogota.
Yeah.
And he's producing a bunch of them, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked to see it.
It's them, and then Intrinsically Ectothermic, I think, is the other guys.
That's
and they're working with Colodis.
Yeah.
Which are awesome in their own regard. I mean, I feel like you can't really go wrong with either.
No. They're very high on my list. They're actually like at the top of my list.
Mm-hmm.
I almost was gonna pull the trigger on some for this 3-foot cage I just built.
Yeah.
But like the Anole was in that small, like,
you wanted to bump it up.
Yeah, he was in that 3x2, and it was just, I had the same issues with the Polychorus because they were in there when I first got them. It's really hard to tongue feed in that cage.
Interesting.
Because like you open one door, there's not much room to really get in there, and then there's not much room for them to get away.
Okay.
So it just seems very stressful for them.
You want a wider cage?
Yeah, I want to be able to open one door and have like a nice 2-foot area.
Yeah.
Where I can kind of get in there and like really work with them.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And this Anole dude, he hates me so much. So I want to get him, because when Chaz,
it's a Smallwood or a Lute, or
it's a Western Giant.
So is that a Ludio?
So it's a Ludio
Gularis or something?
Yeah, however you pronounce it. I'm terrible with scientific names. But yeah. So yeah, man. But my buddy Chaz had him, and he had him like super tame, like out on his hand, eating fruit and stuff. I was like, cool, this is gonna be fun, I'm stoked. He gets here, nothing, dude. I mean, he won't eat in front of me, he won't look at me.
Really?
He doesn't run, but he's not a fan of me,
He'll puff up at you.
Yeah, so I was talking to Chaz about it a little bit, and apparently they're just very standoffish to like new, just like anything else.
Yeah, totally.
And I've been trying to leave him alone and kind of just let him settle in and do his thing. And he's been here a couple months now. So I'm hoping with the new cage being like, as soon as I walk in the door, he's front and center. So I'm like the first thing he sees when I come in the room.
Right.
and then try to start tongue feeding them to get them.
Right.
Because I want
feel
a
like
big, I want a big, chill lizard to be able to get out for people come over and
no,
stuff
yeah.
just
I
to
mean,
kind of
those
show
things get
off.
massive. So
Yeah, man, they
are
get big.
the westerns, are those the largest in that complex, or are they?
I think so. I'm not
I
100% sure.
thought I heard somewhere that they were, but it couldn't be 100%.
I mean, they get big, so I would
Yeah.
imagine so, but
Mhm.
they're very impressive, man. They're just big, impressive lizards.
Yeah.
They're
I feel
so
like if you
cool.
wanted something chill, you should have gotten one of the camellias.
Well, I mean, Chaz being a homie, he hooked it up.
Yeah, no, I
pretty
got
good
you.
on them. So, and I've wanted them for a long time,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I was gonna get coyotes, man, but he needed a bigger cage, so coyotes are next on the list. I think after this season, if I sell some leopard geckos, I might do another like 4-foot repti-zoo on like the opposite. Hey, look, I'm purple and green. On like the opposite, and now I'm frozen.
Yeah.
On like the opposite wall that I have the polycris on. I
Yeah.
think it'd be pretty cool.
No, totally. Absolutely.
I'm just gonna stay green. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm about to screen share anyway. So I want to talk about.
Yeah, you want to talk about your build that you did recently?
I do. I did this all in a day, which I'm pretty proud of, actually.
All right. So what cage? You want to start with the cage?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna share this as I'm talking here. Okay. So my local reptile shop is the shit. I love it. I love everybody that works there. They're fantastic. It's called the Tie-Dyed Iguana. If you're in like the St. Louis, Missouri area, this is the store to go to. They're fantastic. They're so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
They're so cool. So my buddy Eric is the manager there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had this cage. So basically the story behind this cage is a guy came in and bought like 2 or 3 of these. I don't know if this is. I think it's an Exoterra.
Nope.
Is it Zoomed? It might be Zoomed. Okay.
Looking good.
Shout out to Zoomed with the quality glass. But so the paludariums, I'm sure you know a lot about this cage.
Yeah.
He bought 2 or 3 of them, and from the story I got, he tried to fill them with water and they leaked.
Interesting.
Right? But I got it home and I realized the bottom glass is actually cracked.
Huh.
So I don't think it was a seal. I think what happened was
shipping issue or something.
I think I think it was a user
Yeah.
error, if I had to guess. So I got it on a stupid discount. So I bought it obviously because it's a perfect anole cage. So this is the gecko room. This vanity was supposed to go in my bathroom I built downstairs. My girlfriend was painting the ceiling one day and she knocked the top off and shattered it.
Oh no.
And you can't just buy a top. You have to buy a whole vanity.
A whole new vanity, yeah.
So I had to buy a whole new one. So I had this left over.
Yeah.
So I just put a PVC top on it and use it as like a table in the gecko room.
Money.
Yeah, man. So I figured I've always wanted to do like a 360 view enclosure in the center of a room as like a centerpiece for like people walk in. Like that's the first thing they see. You can walk around it, look at all the cages around it, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try it out with this just to see if it would work. So this is the gecko room, centered obviously. And it's a very straightforward, simple build, but it came out pretty cool in my opinion. So this is just like it in the room, clay balls in the bottom, drainage layer, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to work around this center log that I found.
Okay. Is that cork or is that?
No, I got that from like the Mississippi, man. This is
okay.
This is legit. We use the real stuff around here. But no, dude, I got this thing to stand up perfectly by itself. In the center, which I eventually had to put rocks and stuff around the bottom because it did kind of fall over. But
you kind of worked off that piece. You got your focal piece.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to work off of this one. And I'm hoping he uses this. He hasn't touched it yet, obviously, because I want him to, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was like, this was the vision at first was just like a focal I thought about doing a foam tree,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never done a foam tree before, and I needed to with the baby and stuff. I needed to get this done like pretty
Yeah,
quickly
I
because
got you.
I just don't have that much extra time to mess
Yeah,
around with trying to do a tree. So this was like the next best thing, basically.
right.
So that's the end of it. Hold on. Bum. These are all out of order as hell. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So I had that's the center tree, and then like I get such good wood from like the Mississippi, man. It's insane. So I have a spot that's like 15 minutes from my house. That's it's like down a gravel road, and you drive up like right next to the Mississippi, and then there's like a big forested area just like off to the right of that.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of like down trees and stuff, and just piles and piles and piles of this wood. So I try to go out spring, summer, and like stock up as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the wood I have in all of my enclosures come from the same area. Like
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. It's just like a money like perfect spot.
Is it pretty dense wood?
Yeah, dude. It's
Okay.
like so there's obviously a bunch of driftwood that's like obvious like you can tell it's been in the river for a long time. It's very
Yeah.
light and like porous.
Yeah.
But this stuff here, man, is like
Solid.
dense. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's so nice. And it's like because a lot of people, especially like if I post on my Instagram, people ask me like how I treat my wood,
Mm-hmm.
if I like bake it, if I whatever. Some people use like bleach and stuff on their wood, which I don't recommend personally, but
Mm-hmm.
um it's crazy. There's not many bugs like on it. It's wild. So I'll spray it off with like a hose and I'll let it bake in the sun, like on my
Yeah, just
patio.
sunbake it. Yeah, sun dry it.
But other than that, I do nothing, and I haven't had any issues with any crazy bugs or anything. I do, however, have an ant problem in my room, but we'll talk about that
Oh
later.
God.
And as you can see in the bottom right, I got my little helper down there,
There you go.
hanging out while I was doing this build. But um, let me go. Let's see here.
So you got the Mississippi wood, and then
Got the Mississippi wood
hit on
going.
the
Yeah,
substrate and plants next.
yeah. So here's a video of like the walk around view.
What light is that?
It's just like a 3 foot shop light from Home Depot.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude, they're like $20. I use them for all my geckos and everything.
Yeah.
There's a baby. But yeah, so I think I kind of nailed the 360 view. Like everything kind of turned out pretty decent with the wood.
Uh-huh.
But like I said, he's not very accustomed to people or anything, so he's just kind of chilling on that one log. But
Yeah.
so I got all the wood and stuff in. I got everything secured. I have a bunch of rocks in my backyard that I'm going to use for my pond build next year.
Uh-huh.
So I just kind of stacked those around the wood to because like the last thing you want is for him to jump on a log and it fall and then it
Right.
catch his leg or smash him or whatever.
Yeah.
So we got so I kind of missed a couple steps here, obviously, but
Uh-huh.
so
And done.
and done. I didn't take some pictures, but so I'll just kind of explain everything that I
Uh-huh.
have going on here. So obviously drainage layer is very important. We touch on this so many times on this podcast that drainage layer is like very, very, very important. You need some sort of drainage layer.
Mm-hmm.
Clay balls is the way to go, in my opinion. It's just the cheapest, easiest route, unless you want to do like the egg crate light diffuser or whatever.
Filter foam.
Oh yeah, filter foam works too. Fair enough.
I'm a huge filter foam guy. If I had to.
Okay.
If I had to
Well,
choose
Jack likes filter foam. I like Leica.
I'll go on record.
All right. You heard it here first, folks. So substrate wise, I use the same mix in all my cages and it works really well. It grows plants like crazy. The isopods love it and they breed insanely fast. It's like the perfect mix in my opinion. So it's just it's like four things. I get it all on Amazon. I make a massive, like 125 quart tub of it for like $100, and it lasts me a long time. So it's just like cocoa fiber, some sort of cocoa chip. You can use Repti bark if you want. I just use like the generic bricks from Amazon. I do charcoal, worm castings, and then I like to mix sphagnum moss into my substrate. I know Jack, on the other hand, is he's not a big fan of the sphagnum moss because he said it clumps up for him really bad and just like creates balls and pockets of sphagnum moss in his cage. I don't have that issue. I don't know what he's doing wrong, but it works well for me. So yeah, that's the mix, and then you just throw a ton of leaf litter on top of that, and you bury. I like to bury like tree bark and stuff in the substrates for the isopods and springtails to kind of live on and munch on. But yeah, so I do a super as thick of a layer as possible. Like obviously this is a paludarium, so like the layer,
you have that
quote
ability.
unquote substrate dam is very deep. So it's almost like a foot of substrate. Which if I ever have to move this cage, it's gonna be gnarly, but we'll figure that out when we get there, I guess. And then I try to look and see. I wanted to do at least one plant that's like native to where these guys come from. So I got this like on the bottom right. There's like a little syngonium.
Oh, nice.
I forget the actual like the whole species of it, but and they call it the arrowhead plant. It's just like it's like an elephant ear type leaf shape. So I found that at like my local Home Depot. So I figured I'd throw that in there as like a native plant. Hopefully it grows nice and big. And in the corn plant, I see all of the anole guys that keep these guys in like the screen cages, or they keep them outside. They all use the tall corn plants. And they seem to do really well.
Yeah, I see John using them all the time.
Yeah, so I wanted to try to throw one of those in there, and this thing barely fucking fit, dude. Like the roots are down at
Believe
the bottom
me, I know.
So it's smushed in there, but it covers a lot of the cage, and I hope it kind of spreads a little bit to cover the middle a little bit more. And then pothos, go to, obviously. I can grow pothos.
Yeah.
Like nothing. I think anybody can.
Yeah.
And then I took
with the corn plants.
I
had a similar issue with it, like brushing up up against the top of the enclosure. If you just cut off that node right at the base where it comes off that trunk and just put it in like, I don't know, a cup of water or like a cup of leca with a tall water layer, it'll grow roots and you can repot that thing.
Really?
Like, right off the rip. So if you have one that's getting like no sun, it's just in there taking up mass, there's no real reason to have it in there. It's gonna, die eventually. Just cut that thing right off at the trunk and throw that thing in a thing of leca, and it'll come back and you can plot it in the soil, get some ground cover, or
I did not know that. I'll definitely try that out.
Yeah. Because that happened to me with the lineatus. When I set up this lineatus tank, they're known to lay in the corn plant, so I wanted to incorporate that. But yeah, the ones at my local Home Depot were super tall, so I had to take a hacksaw to it. But
that's good to know, because this one's like very tall and it's so smushed up top. I almost it just looks miserable in there. So I might do that.
Yeah, give it a try.
I do have some spots in the front there and I have put more plants in here since. Like it's just pothos, but and then I took the big monstera that was in that other cage and plopped it in here because he loves the chill on those leaves. Yeah, like I said, it's very simple, very quick build. Just I just wanted to get it done and get him in there.
Yeah.
So it's just like a 75 watt heat lamp. It keeps his basking spot like mid to high 90s. His same UVB bulb he's had on him, and then there's a big shop light, and it lights it up really well. It looks fantastic in this room, man. It looks so good. I'm so stoked on it. And then I put his fogger on it to where it keeps it. I mean, the room's already pretty humid, but The fogger just looks cool.
Yeah, no, it totally does. Nighttime humidity is cool too.
Yeah, man.
Drink it at night.
Yeah, and then this has been his spot since he loves that UVB, man. He just lives
right
under
under
it.
the UV.
Yeah, dude, he loves it. He uses that more than the heat, I've noticed, which is pretty cool.
Interesting.
But he's still a small guy, as you can see. He's not big yet, but
getting some good blue on him on the head, isn't he?
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's looking good. I'm stoked to see him as an adult. The parents are gorgeous, man. They're so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how he goes, but yeah, that's pretty much the build. I mean, I said it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy.
Yeah,
just kind of a.
No, it looks really nice. That pothos on the bottom too is going to take over. So
yeah, I'm hoping it does, man. And I put some more like vines, like long pothos in there to kind of try to cover up the wood as much as possible.
Right.
But yeah, dude, that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah! No, it looks great.
Dude.
Any plans on getting a second for him or?
Yeah, I would love to get a female. Chaz has been on it with the fucking anoles, dude. He's been
Does he just have the one pair,
like
or does he have a couple pairs?
No, he just has the one pair, dude, and they're just breeding machines, dude. She's laying like crazy.
Interesting.
So I don't know if I want to get an unrelated female, which I probably will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely would love to have a pair of them for sure.
Yeah, totally. No, those things they're gorgeous. Do people usually keep those in pairs consistently or long term, or are they like a?
Yeah, dude. From what I see, like
Okay.
I know Chaz keeps his together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ron keeps a lot of his stuff together too.
Okay.
Well, he's keeping outside, so I don't know if it's different, but
yeah,
he keeps a lot of his stuff together too, I think.
Yeah, I think John Asher's doing the same thing.
They seem to do well.
Joint. Yeah.
So
hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Looking good.
Yeah, I'm stoked on it.
Yeah,
it's
look
pretty
at
cool.
Us and our lizards.
Dude, I love them so much. You can't beat them, man. Like I love my snakes, don't get me wrong, but you can't beat the lizards, man. They're just so much fun.
Dude, I almost got. I remember DMing you about this past weekend, but I almost traded the a female Velarde for I think it was a Vietnamese Blue Beauty.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. I was entertaining that idea way too hard.
Man. No, sir.
No, sir. Horrible. These get huge. I don't know what I would do. I mean,
they do, man.
It'd be a cool ass enclosure, but like that'd be the only thing I could keep is just a pair of Blue Beauties.
Yeah,
like an 8x4x4 or something crazy. Because
yeah,
I want to do it like Roy. Like I want to get like a big old, custom PVC enclosure and do them all that. But I mean, to do that's intense. So
yeah, that's a lot of space for just a couple snakes. It's like I always go back. So me, Jack, and like Chaz, everybody, we have like a little group chat.
Mm.
And they were all talking about like wanting to get diamond pythons and roughies and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, those are cool. Like those are some of my favorite snakes. But at the same time, I could build like a dope Colodis enclosure, buy a pair of Colodis, and still have money left over.
100%.
And get even more enjoyment out of them.
Yeah, no, they're just still active. That is one thing I do want to kind of, on the subject of snakes while we're on them. I think pretty soon I'm going to try and move the Brettles outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. Yeah, I'm going to get one of those iguanariums. I think it's a 36 by 18 by 48 enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a rubber, like a plastic coated mesh. So I think I'm going to rock that. Get them out into the great outdoors into the sun. I got to figure out, because those things are they're bulletproof when it comes to getting cold. So
yeah,
I'm thinking I'll be okay. I just hope I can get them warm enough consistently during the day. Just because ambient around here is usually in like the high 70s, kind of low 80s. So at least during the summer. So I'd probably want to do a little bit of supplemental heat.
Yeah, you could always just do like an insulated hide box with like one of those outdoor heat mats or whatever.
Yeah, or habitat heater or something. The plastic coated heat mats.
Yeah,
those direct contact ones.
Yeah, that's what I would do. That's what Kenan uses a lot of those in his stuff.
Yeah.
They seem to work well.
Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna try that pretty soon. I just gotta find the time.
So you got a yard and stuff at this house or what?
Yeah, I do. I got a little backyard.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it's secure. Dude, I've gotten so much of my personal belongings taken out of my old backyard. It's like a little courtyard like connected to a driveway.
Yeah.
So people can just walk right in. And it's like on like this strip that's like known for getting like a lot of homeless.
Oh,
Walk
love
in
that.
digging through trash. So like people can just like have like a clear line of sight into the courtyard. So it's a little sketch.
Yeah.
Happy to be out.
I bet, man.
Gotta keep I was thinking about putting my snakes outside for a long time, but I was like, man, I don't want,
Yeah, that's
strange random people walking past my snakes. So I think now it might be finally time to look into that.
Hell yeah, man. I thought about doing like some outdoor cages, but just obviously a partial year because it gets so cold here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. Like we're gonna do the box turtles outside for sure, but they're native, so I don't have to worry about them. But I think it'd be cool to have like a nice row of like cages like by the pond or something, but just like cycle in a few snakes. Mm-hmm. I do still have snakes, contrary to popular belief. I do still have snakes here. They're just all small.
Well, you got the Brettles, don't you?
Yeah, I got a pair of Brettles and then a pair of coastals and the Baird's rat snakes still.
Mm.
That's it, man. That's all I got for snakes. I'm down to 5. I can count them on one hand. That's wild.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Oh my gosh, I went up a couple hours to my hometown and I picked up a PVC enclosure to put my green tree in, and it freaking warped on the drive home.
No,
the bottom track warped. That front panel warped. For some reason, I put in my car facing upright, and like it was getting that magnifying glass sun right there, and it looks like a concave front. Ridiculous.
Damn it, man.
So mad at myself. I guess a band-aid solution I have is to cut a piece of PVC tube to act as like a brace.
Just push it
out from the inside, and then just cover it with substrate or something.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do that and make it work, but it's just like such a bummer.
That sucks, man.
It was just in the midst of this move. I was like just brain dead for some reason, and like
it happens. It happens.
Man.
So, are you keeping your snakes in that room too, or are those inside?
No, those are inside.
Gotcha.
They're in like a display indoors.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I might. Yeah, I think the green tree. I'll put the green tree in the old Brettles enclosure in that 36-18-36. I'll probably put the green tree in there now. Now the PVC one's kind of toasted. So I mean, I got big ideas for a rain chamber in there for him. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking where I'm at right now is I think we're gonna drill. It's on one of those Petco Imagitarium metal stands right now. So there's I have the ability to put like a 20-gallon glass tank right there under it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing a rain chamber kind of system where I have the bottom of that 36-18-36 drilled with a bulkhead. That'll drain into that 20-gallon, put a pump in that 20-gallon, run like a PVC line all the way up to the top of the tank, and have that go into like an airline hose with little pinholes in it and kind of have that rain effect. I think with the substrate, I'll probably rock like filter foam.
Wait, you're not gonna do puppy pads?
What podcast are we on, dude?
I had to poke fun at the green tree guys a little bit. I'm just kidding, people.
No, yeah. I mean, I think some of them. My favorite real substrate to use for them has been the large chunk cocoa chips. That stuff is excellent actually for snakes.
It is, man. It's
like
works
the ultimate it's like the ultimate ball python substrate in my opinion.
Yep, absolutely.
So I've been rocking that for now, and it actually drains really well. I even have it in the freaking Lineata. So, but I think I want to go just so that water isn't like super tanned out.
Yeah,
and to be kind of closer to rainwater. I think I'm gonna run like just a big thick layer of leaf litter with like I don't even know what I'm gonna do for substrate or for like any substrate on top of that. I know a lot of the frog guys don't even do anything extra; they just rock that.
Yeah, so, that's it.
But like, it could be a system where I can just spray out that filter foam pad, and like have it drain into that bottom tank and just replace that bottom tank water consistently.
Yeah.
Throw some filters in that tank. I don't know if I want to do fish, but just because like if I'm trying to simulate rainwater and I want the thing drinking it, I don't know.
Yeah.
What an aquarium would do, to the quality of the water.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
Yeah.
You could just make it like just put a bunch of plants in there.
Yeah, no, that was my plan too. I was probably gonna do like a. I mean, with that filter foam, you can cut it. Like you can cut like large slits in it, and like put a lot of epiphytic plants.
Yeah.
Put the nodes right into there, and they'll grow right out. Like they'll root in that filter foam just fine. So really, like as long as you're okay with the look of filter foam, I mean, I'll probably just end up covering it with leaf litter anyway.
Yeah.
And just rock that.
Yeah, I don't see why not. That'd work just fine.
Yeah, and have plants growing
It'd
out
look
of it.
cool.
Yeah, like a lot of the plants, like the you just have to be selective of your plants. You can only choose, epiphytes. You can't really run like corn plants and stuff in there.
True. Yeah.
But I'm thinking, if I'm just going like pothos, monstera, that kind of stuff, philodendron, like I should be pretty good to go on that.
Yeah, I think it'd work just fine.
Yeah.
They're pretty hardy.
Yeah, no, I was listening to that podcast where Ron was talking about like the time it took for a green tree to kick into drinking mode.
Yeah.
Following an influx of rain, and it's like 15 minutes. So I'm like, man, I'm not gonna. How do I recreate that? Well, I gotta find a way to get it over 15 minutes and for it to be able to drain. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that could, I don't know about unlock anything new, but like just up my keeping game with the green tree.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we always say on here. It's you got to try stuff, man. You gotta think outside the box a little bit sometimes. I think it'd be cool.
Think beyond the terrarium.
Think beyond the terrarium.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I got that's a month or two out. And I haven't really thought about that too much just yet. Just getting everybody settled, but it is in the works once I do the Bredl's enclosure, I think. So
hell yeah. So, I need to get on my snake enclosures, man. I want to do some cool builds, but I'm kind of stuck because I don't really have anywhere to keep them as I do the builds. I mean, I have these old school boa file cages. I guess I could keep stuff in for now, but
yeah,
I just don't like. I can build a lizard cage, right? Like no problem. I know what I'm doing. When it comes to building stuff for snakes, like bioactive wise,
yeah,
it's just, dude, it's such a different process.
I mean, yeah, and it's even more different for large constrictors as well too. It's like it's hard to hit that bioactive mark with them. You almost just gotta run naturalistic and just expect the spot clean anyway, and not get too hung up on the bioactive part of it and just make it a nice looking enclosure.
Yeah, it's tough. And then dude, when I bought these cages, my goal before I got into the lizards, when I had just like a shit ton of snakes, I wanted like all white PVC, like very nice, like
lab look.
Yeah, I really wanted that. So I bought white cages, and now I completely regret buying white cages. Dude, they're so bad. They're just brown on the inside.
Oh no,
they're so bad. And then you pull a snake out, and it flings dirt, as they do. And then the top of the cages are all brown. It looks like somebody just crapped all over them. They look like shit.
Oh jeez.
So like I'm torn between doing these cages or like selling them and doing like the RepiZoos, because I really like the RepiZoo cages. I'm a big fan of them, and for the price point, I think they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
I thought about going that route, but it's just I don't know, man. I'm so torn on what to do with them.
Yeah, you could go plywood.
Yeah, I could do plywood.
Treated plywood and seal that stuff.
I don't like the look of plywood though.
Yeah, that is fair. I mean,
I am going for like the rustic look, but plywood, I just don't. I've done plywood cages before, and I just don't. I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah, I don't mind the look of them on the outside. if you do it nice, you stain it right, and you get like a nice
Yeah.
front for it. But like the inside, if it's like that, like glossy black on that plywood, it looks a little
Yeah, it looks a little off.
you're kind of entitled, or not entitled, but you're kind of forced into doing a background of some kind for them.
Yeah, for sure. Which I'm not opposed to do.
Yeah.
I did do one in a 4-foot cage. It came out pretty good, but I don't know, man. I just feel bad because like all the lizards have these like badass bioactive cages, and like all the snakes just have. I mean, they have the same substrate, but it's just like that logs, some like fake leaves, and an LED light, and that's pretty much all they got. And some heat. So it's just like you walk into the gecko room, and it's just like everything looks so good, and then you walk into the snake side, and it's like okay. Like you have the Peleaker's cage, which looks insane, and then you have like all these just like snake cages, which look subpar in comparison. You know,
I mean they work, but yeah, you want to hit that same standard, but it's just harder to do it. I feel like with the snakes.
Yeah, I mean they're not neglected. Obviously, you know, they're nice cages, but they just don't. They're not on the same level. And I want everything to be very cohesive, very like standard.
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't know, dude. It's a fucking process like everything else. I'll get there at some point, but I don't really plan on adding too many like snakes to the collection anymore. I pretty much have what I like. So I'm stoked on the Brettles though. That's my thing. I'm really enjoying those guys a lot.
Yeah,
they're gonna be dope, man.
Hell yeah! Oh man, we got Super Show in here in a week in SoCal.
I'm glad you said that. What is up with that cage you posted on your story?
Oh yeah. No, I just did that. That's probably gonna be one of the builds that's going on the table or in the booth.
Gotcha.
At the Zoom Ed booth. So if you want to see it, you can come by and say what's up. I probably won't be at the booth too much. I'll probably be floating around for a lot of the show. Just doing content.
I was about to say you're gonna be doing some filming.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some filming, doing some content.
Oh yeah, man.
Not sure.
You're good at it, dude. I enjoy watching your video, like the Zoom Ed stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
A lot. You're good at it, man.
I appreciate that. It's like this fine line between like entertainment for like the non-reptile people and getting them in, and then like making it still where it's like as a reptile person you can watch it and not feel embarrassed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a balance, so I'm hoping I'm striking that, which is good to hear.
Yeah, man, you're doing good. I enjoy watching them. You're very energetic. You definitely have the energy to be on camera.
Yeah,
for sure.
Not right now. This damn move.
My boy's all tired and stressed and stuff.
I'm on the tail end of an hour. Light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, man, you made it. You're there.
Yeah, I can sit back and relax. I just need one night to recharge, and I think after tonight, I think I'll be okay. But it's cool though. It's gonna be like they're back to doing the pet fair, so it's gonna be like fish and coral, plants, small animals and birds, and they're each gonna have like their own like building at the same time. So it's like the standard reptile Super Show, but with like Super Show versions of like all these other different facets of the pet hobby. So it's gonna be insane. It's
gonna be massive then, right?
It's gonna be massive. Huge. There's gonna be so many people.
Damn. Oh my god, dude. I am like.
But it's gonna be great for each respective hobby. If it's just getting like the greater pet hobby exposed to the reptiles, to the fish, to the birds, like it's gonna be an awesome event. I think. I'm really
because
excited.
Like I feel like a lot of the I don't know how to word this. So like, you got obviously you have your different facets of the hobby, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like the reptile side of things is like the redheaded stepchild almost.
Yeah.
Like the mammal side is more mainstream. The bird side obviously is more mainstream. The fish side is like leagues above everybody else. So it'd be cool to have all those different like fans of like those facets also being able to see the reptile side on like
I realize that we got some game too,
Exactly. Yeah,
that's
man,
cool.
That's gonna be dope. I wish I could make it out there, man.
Oh, it's gonna be a crazy weekend. I don't know what I could come home with or what I could manage to come home with because frankly I don't have any room left and like I really don't want to add any new projects to the mix at this point. So
You just said earlier you have 2/3 of a room empty.
Babies. They're for babies. I gotta keep it for babies. But I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna be going to an expo looking for a Bronya. I gotta be a little.
Yeah, I don't
I
blame
gotta
you.
be picky on those, and I can't be buying from
For
someone
sure.
I don't know. I'm always
Yeah.
looking for pretty mossies and for pretty Abanawi and pretty leaf tails. So that's probably if I see something I like, I'll probably buy it. But I got a pair of Hankalei finally coming in. I've had
Oh
them
yeah.
bought for a couple months now, and I think I'm finally at a place where I can take them in. So I'm
Nice,
excited to
man.
do that build. They're going into a 3x18x3. Female's a little small, so I actually might keep her in a 16-16-30 for now and just run the male and by himself in that 36-18-36 and just let him ride it out in there, and then hopefully get that female big enough to put him with during winter cooling, and then kind of bring him out of it and get him breeding next year.
Hell yeah, man! I bet you're stoked on that.
Dude, they're really nice pied animals, so I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but the last Pomona I went to, I found my little cork bark leaf tail, my little Peshmanai. So
Oh, that's right.
here's to hoping I can find another.
Who knows, man?
2 for 2 on Pomonas.
You may be coming home with something.
I'll come home for something. I just don't know. Yeah.
It's like that oh, what's that actor's name? Shit. Have you seen the meme where the dude's like, he's like, I'm from around the way. I'm coming back with something.
I haven't seen that clip. But
Denzel Washington. That's who it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny, man. So I have one more thing I wanna ask you and get your opinion on. I'm having an issue with ants, dude, in my gecko room, like crazy.
Fuck.
Yeah. So they're like,
this is so because Jack. I remember last episode, Jack was like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "I'm trying to get Brenden not to swear." I'm like, "Oh yeah. We probably want like the kind of keep it, PG for mature audiences and stuff." And like, here we are, just fucking ripping it. He's me pissed.
Hey, for the record, he's never told me nothing. So
anyway, sorry, continue.
Hey man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a mechanic, and this is how I talk, and it's gonna be very hard for me not to drop the F-bomb very often. So I apologize to all the children watching, but it's funny too because off topic again, but like my younger siblings watch.
Yeah.
But they're at the shop with us because it's my dad's. Like my dad opened the shop. So like they hear shop talk all day, so it's fine. But like I don't think about other people's children that might be listening. I apologize. I'll try to start keeping it a little more PG. But dude, these ants, man.
Yeah, bro, what's going on with that?
It's to the point where summertime here is crazy. We have ants in the house normally anyway. But they've weaseled their little way down to the gecko room, and like if I put out crested gecko diet in the gecko cages, they just like swarm it. And it's to the point where it's getting too much. I need to figure out a solution that's not going to harm the plants or animals, obviously, that's in the room.
Right.
And dude, I'm at a loss of what to even try that's not chemical.
Are there colonies? There aren't colonies in the cages, are there? They're just kind of snaking their way in from the outside and going back.
So if I pull the food out, they're gone. They disappear.
Okay.
But as soon as I put that food down, I'll go down there and they're just swarming it. It's insane.
So there are ant traps that you can buy where it's like ant food that they'll bring back to the colony and feed to like the queen or whatever, and it'll kill it.
Yeah.
It's like slow acting poison. So like once they kind of kill themselves by taking that food back with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's how it works. So generally that's like, it's pretty, I don't see, we use those in the greenhouse because we have a freaking ant problem in the greenhouse too.
Really?
In my greenhouse. Yeah. There's some ants in there for sure. And they got colonies and stuff. So like we're pretty on top of the ants. We gotta be careful about leaving food out and stuff. So yeah, for those, we won't put it into like enclosures directly with animals, but we will kind of put them, outside of the pens and stuff. Whenever we see like an ant trail, we kind of, drop a trap on there. It's hard to say because there's so damn many ants in there, but like,
yeah,
I can just imagine what it would be if we didn't do that. So
Mhm.
could try that. I mean, with the racks, I mean, I run Baker, so if I ever had an ant problem in here, I would just try and make it so that there's no connection to the walls, and I would just put each of the legs in like a cup of water or something, and do
Yeah.
like a moat style thing, so at least they can't get to my animals. So
Yeah, that's the issue with mine is like I built these
the cinder blocks, right?
shelves and there's no way I'm keeping them off of
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I know.
And I noticed, dude, they're like they'll go from my grow lights that I have for the plants.
Mhm.
They'll snake their way down the wire and it just hangs just low enough to where it almost touches the crested gecko cage.
And
And they'll
they'll,
jump off of there
oh
and then
my
go in.
god, smart
Yeah.
bastards.
For being such tiny, insignificant things, they're not dumb. They know how to
I
get to their
know.
food.
I throw some ant slander, and then like a biologist coworker I have will write me a new one. They're like, they're the most important part of our ecosystem. I'm like, I don't give a shit. These damn things are annoying. They're biting me. They're
it's just so annoying, and it's getting to the point where the gargoyles won't like they haven't been eating their food because the ants are just swarming in it.
jeez, yeah. Are
I
they?
gotta
Yeah,
figure out something, man.
yeah. I would try that, or I don't know about a berry, but you could try like a. I don't know if they sell like are sticky traps a thing for ants.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it much
Huh.
because like the ants that we have upstairs, they're very few and far between, so like it's not
Yeah.
that big of a deal. I've never had this many ants. They're
Yeah.
overtaking my shit.
Yeah, you got to deal with it before they set up like an actual like stronghold in there or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm worried
If they're coming
too
in, if they're
because
coming in from the outside, that's one thing. But if they're setting up shop in an enclosure, that's a lot. I feel like that's kind of dangerous.
yeah, I don't know if it's gotten to that point yet. I haven't noticed anything.
Yeah.
Like I haven't noticed them in the cage when there's
Mhm.
no food present. But also, I just went in there earlier before we started recording, and the crested gecko has food in his cage, and there's not
Yeah.
an ant. There's not an ant in sight.
Okay. There you go.
But I put it in the gargoyle cages, and they're
And they
just
swarm
like,
it. Well, maybe they
yo,
just they have access.
buffet.
Find a way to kind of block it off somehow. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I might just have to try to buy those. We use those white, like the food trap that you were talking about upstairs
Yeah.
before. And I don't know if it did anything or not, but I'm gonna have to do something. I'll try to
Yeah.
buy a few of those and spread them across the room or something and see what
Yeah.
happens. But
Yeah. I know there's also like a squirt on jelly that you can get. Like it'll come out of
yeah,
a tube. You can kind of wrap that around the wire, I guess.
yeah.
Try that.
I wish I knew where they were coming in from.
Yeah, I feel like
That's
that's like
the
step
issue.
one. Yeah,
I just don't know where
that's
they're coming
objective one.
from.
Yeah. Let's try and find the source.
Because it's like I said before, this house is so old. There's like cracks and crevices everywhere. So who
Yeah.
knows where they're coming in from?
Yeah.
And I've never had a problem with them before, which is I don't know if it's because it's been I don't know. It hasn't been wet or rainy or nothing. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I wonder if sealing the wall makes sense. Or finding finding the source and sealing it off somehow, or
Well,
putting a layer on there.
The only thing I could think of is like if they're coming through the windows, but the windows are sealed because they
Mhm.
leak.
Yeah.
I've had that issue a couple times. There's the windows are sealed, so they're not coming in through the windows, I don't think. But I don't know. I just didn't know if you had any ideas on.
No, yeah. Other than the ant traps, that's what we use for ours, and like putting
try
the racks
those
in the
then.
water. But I feel like water's the only thing that they can't pass.
Yeah, I know, and there's no way, unless I dig a moat. There's no way that's happening. I just have to buy some of those traps and hope for the best. Try to nuke them.
Hell yeah. It's like, dude, like I try and like spray them. Like I'll be out there with a hose and like I'll see ants in like a pen and I'll try and spray them. And then like they look like they're gone. And then I'll just like the ground move again. I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, it's insane.
Water doesn't even take them out.
It doesn't, dude. It's wild.
Like high pressure water. And they're just like,
You're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for the bath. We're gonna go back to doing what we were doing.
Ants are ridiculous.
They are, man. So that's gonna be a saga. I have a feeling it's gonna be.
Yeah, we'll do some research and we'll come back with a game plan.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into some stuff and because I gotta get rid of these things, man.
Yeah.
I don't mind them, and like I don't mind them.
Yeah.
If they're in the house, I have crickets running around the house. I found roaches down here. Like I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I just need my geckos to eat. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. No, I got you.
that's not a thing.
If I see ants in here, I actually might lose my goddamn mind, and I'll probably go full like snake bite on it. But
yeah, I think that's about where I'm gonna have to be.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
it is what it is, man.
Yeah, one of my buddies went full snake bite on it. I think he got a Walcott scrub or something like that, and came in with like a couple stress mites or whatever, and he just freaking like he baked his PVC enclosures outside. Like he went to like such extremes to make sure that like nothing is living in those cages.
Man,
so it's admirable shit, dude. But I can't do that.
Yeah, there's no way I'm doing that. Damn. Well, I guess I'll update everybody next week on what happens.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%.
Try to do something, man. But
start of the ant saga.
Yeah, we'll start
a couple
the
of sagas going on here. We got the Gecko saga, the ant saga,
and it's all me, man. I'm just oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, do you got anything else, man, you want to touch on before we jump off of here, or what?
I think we hit everything. I think it was just a pretty cool, like kind of catch up episode. I had a good time.
Yeah, man. I was just trying to get back in the swing of things, try to get a little routine going. And
no, totally.
Yeah, man. It was nice jumping on and chatting.
I feel like all of our lives kind of just blew up in like the same couple of weeks.
Like
you had your kid, I had the move.
Jack's been working like 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We're
times are tough right now, but we'll come back. We'll keep at it.
Yeah, so for the people who don't know, Jack's basically kind of jumped on to the BTT group. He's going to be our regular on the podcast, I believe.
Yeah, regular or fill in, either or, wherever you guys need me.
Yeah, we'll have you on for sure on a couple of the bully episodes, with no guests or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that works. So you're going to be seeing Jack's face more often than not, probably.
The intern.
So, yeah, Jack the intern. Yeah, man. But like I said, we're not quitting on the podcast. We're just all kind of going through life stuff right now. But we'll be back to a regular schedule coming up soon. Like I said, Jack Oliver, the co-host, Jack is he's on vacation this week, enjoying himself. So I didn't want to make him. It's funny. I texted him earlier. I was like, "Yo, you gonna jump on the podcast tonight?" He's like, "Man, I forgot my laptop. I have a whole house full of people I don't want to talk in front of." And I was like, "It's cool, man. It's fine. I can take over. It's no big deal. Me and Jack will just chat for a couple hours and have a good time." So
yeah, we'll talk rare lizards.
Yeah, man.
The Rare Lizard podcast is back.
Yeah, damn right. And we're not going nowhere.
No. Only growing.
All right, man. Well, you want to tell the people where to find you?
Yeah. Jack or no, I don't even know where my head's at. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Gekkota Culture. That's GekkOtaCulture. There on Instagram, I post a lot of content on Zoom as well. So you can see my face every other video on ZoomEd's Instagram. Yeah, hope to see some of y'all at the Pomona show here in a couple days. If you're going, definitely hit me up. I don't know. I think this is dropping Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll drop Friday.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys are in Pomona, definitely shoot me a DM or track me down. I'll be either at the ZoomEd booth or floating around with the camera. So looking for a good time this weekend. It should be cool. Catch up with some people.
Hell yeah, man. It's been so long since I've been to a reptile show, dude. I'm like fiending for one.
Yeah.
So I
think I'm going to make the trek out for Tinley this year.
Oh, in October?
In October.
Dude, you have to come.
OT Tinley. I got to hit it.
You have to.
I got to hit it. That's kind of what I'm saving up for right now. Like I got to experience Tinley once with Tinley money,
Yeah. Dude, especially. Okay, we're going to talk about this after the recording.
Okay.
Yeah. BM Exotics for me on Instagram, obviously. If you want to chat, talk about the pod, whatever, hit me up. Follow Beyond the Terrarium on Instagram. Follow our YouTube page. You can find us on anywhere you get your podcast. Like I said, we're going to be back to a regular schedule here. Hopefully, starting next week, we should be back to our regular, like, boys episode, guest, kind of thing. So, yeah, that's it, man. That was Beyond the Terrarium episode 16 with Mr. Jack Thompson.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, man. Glad you came on. It was a fun one, man. We had a good time.
Yeah. Always.
All righty. Till next week, people. Peace.
Peace.